What is up, everybody? It is Midwest Raider fans back for another one. We're here for the preview today. We're pretty excited. We're ready to go against those Cowboys. We're ready for a new week, a new adventure with the team to see how bad we can lose. I mean, how bad we can strive to compete and win. So I'm excited. It's Monday night, another opportunity as well to big lights, big stadium, and show the world, are we going to rise or are we going to fall again? And I really hope we rise a little bit, make it a competitive game, at least kind of like the Jaguars game, and maybe start scoring. And some of these stats that we're going to be talking about, I think could lead to some positive thoughts. So we'll keep it there. With that, we got Jimmy in the house today, so that's always awesome. We got him. He always has some good thought and feedback. So glad to have him here for the Midwest Raider fans. Thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, please like, subscribe, share. We're really looking to hit about 500 subscribers so we can go live and actually watch some games with you guys. I think when we get a little bit of brew inside of us, we're pretty fun to watch the games with, and we watch the games anyway, so might as well watch them with the Raider Nation. So please like, subscribe, share all this stuff so we can get enough subscribers so we can go live and watch some games with the fans out there. So one thing we'd like to get done. Other than that, I'm going to pass it to our stat master, which is Jimmy on the other side, and he's going to let us know what we're going to be facing with those Cowboys and get his intro in as well.
Yeah, thanks again for following us. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the heck out of this video. Like you said, we'd like to go live, and yes, we are pretty funny once we have a couple beers in us, and we only get funnier as the worse the game looks. So there's always that to look forward to. Again, following stat wise, not going to go too heavy, in stats against players, just because the way the season's turned out. Obviously, I'm hoping for a good competitive game, and hopefully we can get that W. Again, a W goes a long way for morale for the team, the fans, and so yeah, let's get into it. Hopefully, we can get a W, but we'll see. We'll get our predictions at the end of how we think it's going to go. So first, I'd like to start off with just overall. The Raiders do lead the Cowboys in the series. Short series, only 13 games total, and we lead the series 7-6. So we got one win ahead of them. Last one came in 2021. We won 33-36, if I recall correctly. So it's a close game. Obviously, a different team back then. A couple bad things, negative things we'll kind of get out of the way. The Cowboys are coming off a bye week. So that means they've had extra time to heal any, injuries, bruises, that sort of nature, obviously prepare for the Raiders, what to expect. So that always makes it a little tough. And this stat I know we're not going to like, but our defense has been holding us in games, helping us out. So hopefully we can help keep those Cowboys out of the end zone because they are fourth currently for points scored in a game out of all 32 teams. But on a brighter note, currently they are 30th in points giving up. So there's optimism there, man. We can get offensive rolling, score some points. Like he said, against those Jaguars, man, we'll go tit for tat, back and forth. Hopefully we can pull it out. But if not, just make it competitive, exciting, some great plays. Unfortunately, though, before the trade deadline, they did pick up some guys. So they picked up linebacker Logan Wilson from the Bengals. So they're beefing up their defense. So that's kind of hurts. And then they also got three-time Pro Bowler Quinnen Williams from the Jets. Dude's the interior lineman on the defense there. He's a stud. He will be going up against Caleb Rogers, rookie, who is starting for JPJ, who most likely is out. I mean, at least 4 games because they put him on the IR, but my guess is probably just the rest of the season. He did put a quote out. I'm not going to quote him word for word, but he was excited to get his first start, and he's accepting the challenge that's ahead of him. So
Yeah.
that's a positive. Again, hopeful, wishful thinking, and who's to say we get these younger guys in there and we get some sort of gel going, and they block for Geno if Geno's going again. I haven't heard anything. It's early in the week, but with this injury from last week, so we'll kind of have to wait and see. My guess is that we played him at the end when he was injured. My guess is he'll try to get it out, and hopefully he'll do pretty good. So currently we're going to go with Geno as the starter for us for quarterback because I haven't heard anything otherwise at this point. He's currently got 1,844 passing yards. We're going up against Dak Prescott, who we know can make plays with his legs, obviously good at throwing the ball. He has 2,319 yards, so not too many more passing yards, but enough to again keep that high scoring offense on the field. Running back wise, they got Williams, who's got 716 yards rushing. Again, Genty's at 547. So, we on paper we kind of match up here. So nothing too crazy. Their stud receivers Pickens, came over from the Steelers there, so we know what he can do. He's got great hands, runs good routes. He's currently at 764 yards. And then again, Tucker's our main receiver as of now with 455 yards. So there's a little bit of gap there. But hopefully we'll get Bowers involved, and then we got Lockett and all those Jordan Thornton Jr. Hopefully he can get his hands back and catch some balls there. Defensive wise, again, I talked about the two that they just picked up. They had that extra week off, so you're getting them in there and learning the schemes and the play calls and stuff. I'm sure they're going to be ready. But currently, Clark has 2.5 sacks, and our leading man is Crosby with 5. So again, on paper, we kind of match up. Minus, they're fourth again in scoring, so they're a scoring machine. But they haven't faced our Raider defense, who has kept us in games and even games we thought we'd get blown out in. So that's kind of what I got there for stats. So I'll throw that back over to you if you got anything to add or like to
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah, just a couple little additions. You did bring this up about they do score 29 points a game averagely, but they allow 30 points a game. So that's kind of crazy. So yeah, that is some optimism for the Raiders that, 30 points a game. That's a lot. That's even higher than us. Um, which, we only allow 24 points a game, but we only score 15 points a game. So definitely a problem. But, maybe, like I said, we can do it like that Jaguars game and get some things going. They do have some studs on offensive receivers and running backs. But like I said, I think their defense is, I'm not going to say weak, but their defense is a little bit soft. So we might be able to do some stuff offensively. So I'm hoping that this with the right play calling, the right coaching, hopefully Geno's doing okay, that we're going to be able to turn this game around a little bit and show some life. So those are our very, very positive things in my opinion. Also with our, good kicker, we can, pin them deep. Um, our special teams hopefully can, we can basically, like you say, we can go back to the basics and use all three phases to get things done in this game. And I think that's kind of what I'm looking at. And I'm just hoping that their defense, since they haven't been doing, I mean, I was looking at all their players and, they don't have like each player doesn't have like a lot of tackles compared to our, and I know our defense has probably played a lot more than their defense since they're, scoring machines, being with their offense probably out and probably be a little bit more balanced than the Raiders. But I did notice that their defense just seems a little bit weak. I also noticed that they do have some injuries as well, and they're all defensive type players. So they have a little bit of an injury bug in their defense. So hopefully we can take advantage of that, and our offense can actually do something this game, and our defense is enough to get the job done this week. So definitely, I think those are some of the things we need to get done. Other than that, let's go to the next segment is always our keys to success. So I'm gonna let Jimmy, and I don't have a lot for this game. They're pretty basic. So I'm gonna send it to you first, but I think we'll probably be on the same page.
Yeah, no, keys. Yeah, like you said, keys back to the basics. We want all three phases of the football game. We need to play just basic football. And we want to break it down a little bit more. Key, I think we still need to roll Geno out. And I know we got a couple new guys in there who are obviously going to have some rookie mistakes and not knowing, certain calls and whatnot, just because they haven't had the reps at all, with the first team here. So other than the practice, one thing I will note is we did play on Thursday night and now we don't play till Monday. So we do get a couple extra days of practice in there,
Yeah.
obviously, which is a good thing to help us out. Keys, we got to be balanced. We got to be able to pass the ball and run the ball. We can't be just one dimensional. Clearly, we're not one dimensional running the ball. We just haven't had any breakout, for Genty yet. But I think, again, I said it in a previous video, he's kind of like a boxer. Sometimes boxers need to get punched in the face before they actually start boxing or start fighting. And that kind of seems to be Ginty's thing, man. We need to get him more reps, get him in there and let him get those hits and keep running the ball. And then my other big takeaway is we need Brock Bowers to be in all 4 quarters of the game. I'm not saying he has to be the number one receiver by any means, but like last week, he had 0 targets in the second half, and he's a major part of our offense there. So we need him to, get in there somehow, whether it's running downfield. I mean, obviously that's where he's best, but we've seen him carry the ball a couple times. He's had some decent runs. But yeah, I'll throw it back over to you. Like I said, I think, just get back to the basics. Back to the basics.
Yes, absolutely. One thing I was just trying to look up really quick was like the how like you said, we need to be more balanced. And I wanted to see what we did against the Bronco game. I was trying to look that up really quick to see if how many times we ran it compared to how many times we passed it. And I couldn't find it right away here, but we definitely need to figure out what we are identity wise. Like, are we only Brock Bowers and Geno? If Brock Bowers isn't the offense, then we don't know what to do. So, like I said, we need to find that balance. Are we going to run it like they say that we want to, or are we more this pass? If we're a passing offense, fine, be a passing offense. Use Ashton when you can, and then swing him out, throw some screen passes, throw the dump off type passes for him because we've seen him success that way as well. And the Cowboys are going to spread out their defense a little bit. They're pretty well known for spreading their defense out. So there's going to be that swing type pass you might be able to get done. And I know they're watching film, but I still think that's going to be available. They're going to be available to, do the dump out passes with the running back. We have 2 great tight ends. One of them has to be open. And then of course we still have Tucker, Lockett, Thornton. I really think, hopefully, Raider Nation, what do you think? DJ Turner is out there. He's on our practice squad. We need to bring him up. He had some really key games and some really great catches when he was playing with the Raiders. He might not be great at practicing or something, but he is great when it comes to the game. And I think we need to bring him up from the practice squad. And I know Bachman and some other players have played pretty good, but I know he could replace one of those players and do some really good in the game. So that's one thing I wanted to add in there. But I think the key to success is just like you said, being balanced, back to the basics, basic play calling, let the rookies play, let the rookies experience game type action, and just use everybody that you have and rotate in, and maybe that'll keep some guys fresh for us to continue to move the ball down the field. So, and defensively, stay fresh to be able to get the ball back for the offense.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Yeah,
what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Everything you said, just to top you off there, we were pretty balanced last week. Ginty had 19 carries.
Okay.
So that's just Ginty alone, not including, any of the backup, second string guys. I can't think of his name there. And then obviously Geno threw probably roughly 30 times. So we were, it was more balanced.
Yeah. So yeah, he threw 26 times. I have that here. So 19 and 26, that's not bad. That's getting better. Yeah, no, if we can get a little bit more like that, I think we'll have better luck against the Cowboys defense. And like I said, maybe
Yeah, they're not highly ranked as the
yeah.
Broncos. Obviously, Broncos coming in with at the time had 40 sacks. Dallas is decent. I'm not saying they're horrible or anything, but we should be able to make some holes for Ginty to get through. Again, stay balanced, pass the ball, have all of our guys, and like you said, I agree. Bringing Turner and Tucker. Remember those days? They were the speedsters. I'd like to see us go deep. Let's try to catch them off guard. They're not expecting it because we don't go deep.
We don't go deep.
So bring him up. Have 2 speedsters in there. And if it's not there, then you have Bowers or even Lockett kind of underneath there. So or again, dump it off to one of our great 2 tight ends that we have. So there's a lot to do there. Again, I think we have opportunities. We match up fairly well on paper. Again, we seem to always match up kind of good on paper. But
yes. Yeah.
When it comes to action, just not so much.
Not so much. So yeah, we're 2-7. The Cowboys are 3-5-1. So, it's going to be Monday Night Football. hopefully the gameplay is elevated because it is Monday Night Football. And like I said, hopefully we can get a W. I think it's absolutely possible. The Cowboys allow 30 points a game. That's pretty crazy. That's a lot of points. They do score 29 points a game, but like you said, maybe our defense is actually going to have a good game. At one time we did have like these almost like the seventh best run defense. They keep falling down every week, but they're up there for run defense. So we can stuff the run. We try to just control Dak a little bit, maybe get a little pressure, those types of things. And I definitely think we can stay in this game. So let's get to the next topic really quick and go into just what do you think, real quick? Do you think the Cowboys Raiders is kind of a rivalry?
So again, I kind of
Mm,
think it is. I know they've only played each other 13 total times, so we don't have
mm,
that, but just the historic history from both franchises.
mhm,
I mean, I think it makes it a
mhm,
rivalry game. In the past, it's been a big game.
mhm,
This is a big game. It's
mhm,
Monday Night Football, man. What's Ice Cube say? He's
mhm,
like, put those lights on me, shine those lights on me.
mhm,
Let's hope that Raider offense get those lights on them. Let's
mhm.
freaking heat
Yeah.
it up and do something. They allow points, so let's get in there and score some points and make it a game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it kind of is, just because, like you said, it has some past to it, and it's usually around Thanksgiving. I remember watching a lot of Raider Cowboys games. Derek Carr played a crazy game like a couple years ago, like you said, and we ended up getting a win from that. He ended up having like a really long scramble too, or something, one of those games, but. Yeah, so it has some history recently. It has some history in the past. So I think it kind of is, just because of the two big franchises, I think. So 2017, I wanted to bring up that game with the Gene Seratol uh, index card for the first down. It was tied 17-7 late in the fourth quarter, could go any way. Raiders defense stops the Cowboys on a quarterback sneak, but then Gene comes out with that index card and puts it between the marker with, and evidently it was enough. It was a first down. That index card was enough, and they got it. They ended up winning that game 20-17. I remember that game like it was yesterday, and I was just like, what the hell just happened? I still today don't understand how an index card was enough to figure that out. I might as well pull the hair out of his head and done the same thing. So I guess either way, he thought that was going to be a first down. So, but anyways, just a little history on that. Let's go ahead and get in right into predictions already. We're getting close. What do you think this game is going to turn out to be?
I'm sad you had me go first, but unfortunately, and I really hope I'm wrong, Raider Nation. Tell me in the comments that I'm wrong. It's going to be closer than this, but I'm going to go with kind of what we score. So I'm going to say it's going to be like 31 Cowboys. And unfortunately, I'm only giving us like 10 points. I just
Wow.
don't think we have any consistency. And I really hope I'm wrong. I hope we go out there, but we have more games where, this season that are just inconsistent. I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. What do you got?
All right. Well, I am feeling it this week. I'm thinking Monday Night Football. Let's just go with what happens. They allow 30 points a game. And guess what? The Raiders have scored 29 points against those Jaguars. So I'm going to go 29 Raiders, and I'm going to go 24 on the Cowboys. So I'm going to say a Raiders win. It's going to come down to the end. We're all going to be sweating and nervous, but we're going to pull out some last second heroics, finish it in the fourth quarter, and win 29-24. Raiders get a win. We're going to be 2-7 or 3-7, uh, and they're going to fall to what, 3-6-1, and yes, and then we're going to move on for the next
Hit.
game, the Browns, which is another winnable game in my opinion. And I know there's not a lot of winnable games when you're the Raiders and you're just killing yourself, but I think those two are definitely winnable. And then we go against divisional rivals, which then I think we might hit the slump again. So, but I'm really positive about these next two games. So you'll see a positive Midwest Raider for the next two games because I think we have a chance, but we'll see. Maybe I'll get a little unpositive after the Cowboys game. I don't know. But yes, once again, if you didn't hear it, 29-24, you heard it here first, Midwest Raiders.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I hope
And
I'm
then
way wrong. Yeah.
Mr. Negative over there, he said it was going to be what again?
I said
31,
31-10.
31-10.
Yeah,
Woo, we're
I
gonna
think we
get
get,
smoked.
yeah.
Dude, that's gonna be a painful game to watch with you because
Yeah, it
31-10,
will be, but
it's gonna be
we'll sit
tough,
through
man.
it.
We will
Yours
sit
will
through
probably go down a little faster. And
it. All right, all right. All right, guys. Well, that's all we got for you. Hopefully, uh, we'll have a positive outcome. We'll definitely have a recap on the game. We'll have a preview on the next game coming up against those Browns. Thanks for staying with us. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and share. Please do that if you're not. Come here, share some Raider knowledge, share some Raider love, and just know that we love talking Raiders. So please check us out, Midwest Raiders. You can check us out on everything too. Check us out on TikTok, YouTube. We got cool, funny little shorts. We got I think, are we on more than that? Are we on
yeah, we're on Facebook,
Facebook,
Instagram. Yeah, we
Instagram?
got we
Wow.
got it all. Midwest Raider
No,
fans.
nice. So yeah, check us out, follow us. And also, like I said, we're trying to hit those 500 subscribers so we can at least go live occasionally with you, with the fans out there. So thank you. Other than that, I'll let Jimmy take us out today.
Yeah. So again, like he said, share, share, share. We'd like to go live. We need 500. So let's get there. We're funny guys, especially after a couple beers, and depending on how the game goes, we get funnier as it keeps continuing on. But yeah, so like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. We'll love talking Raider football, and we'll respond. Like I said, even if you would disagree with us, well, hash it out. We'll get it figured out. And
Monday Night Football. Be
Monday
there,
night.
be there, be square. And yeah, we're looking for another win because it's been a few weeks without it. So, all right, guys. As always, go
Go
Raiders.
Raiders.